All right, the corporate media is in a bit of a tizzy today. They're always in a tizzy, but they're especially tizzied today after, according to their headlines, Trump confessed to being a dictator during a town hall with Sean Hannity last night. And in the town hall, the media says, Trump announced that he would be a dictator on day one in office. And as it turns out, that is actually what he said. Let's watch the clip.
I want to go back to this one issue, though, because the media has been focused on this and attacking you. Under no circumstances, you are promising America tonight you would never abuse power as retribution against anybody.
Except for day one.
Except
Look,
for?
he's going crazy. Except for day one.
Meaning?
I want to close the border and I want to drill.
That's not retribution.
I'm going to be, you know, he keeps, we love this guy. He says, you're not going to be a dictator, are you? I said, no, other than day one. We're closing the border and we're drilling. After that, I'm not a dictator,
so that sounds to me like you're going back to the policies when you were president. All right.
I love that clip. I mean, that's to me, that is vintage Trump. And I don't think we've seen a lot of vintage Trump this cycle, unfortunately. But to me, that's like that. That if I didn't know any better, you told me that was from 2016, I would have believed you, because that's like 2016 era vintage Trump, and so you see that glimmer of that, and it's great. And I love the clip for a bunch of reasons. First of all, because Sean is like doing his thing, acting as campaign manager rather than interviewer, trying to lead Trump into saying certain things. Like, this is not, you know, even if you're a Trump supporter and maybe you're happy that he gets a softball interview, it's like, this is not even what Sean Hannity does. It's not even an interview. This is like walking him through the things that it's like, so, Mr. Trump, Mr. President, here's what you are saying right now. Here's what you're saying. And Trump's like, no, I'm not saying that. So, Mr. President, what you're saying is that this stuff about you being a dictator, you're not a dictator. No, I am. At least on day one. That's great. And then Sean starts panicking, and the whole thing is fantastic. Of course, now what Trump is actually promising to do here is not illegal. It's not retribution. It isn't actually dictatorial. He's not saying he's going to suspend the Constitution and throw his enemies in prison. That's what Biden is doing right now. So if he did say he was going to do that, then all he would be doing is continuing the Biden administration's current policies. But he's not even saying he's going to do that. He's just saying that he's going to ruthlessly and effectively wield power to move his agenda forward and to do the things that he has the power to do and that the American people will have voted for him to do. And that's what he's saying. You know, and he's saying it in a funny way, and it's giving Sean Hannity a conniption fit, and it's giving the media a conniption fit, and so it's a lot of fun. The October 15th tax deadline has come and gone, and I know many of you may be dreading filing your taxes and all the stress involved. Filing your taxes can be a long, excruciating process, but if you fail to file, you'll start to pile up penalties on top of your tax debt. That's why you need to check out Tax Network USA. The team at Tax Network USA has a track record of success. They've reduced tax debt for numerous clients, totaling over $1 billion. Whether you're looking at a $10,000 or a $1 million tax debt, they can help you with a settlement. Doesn't matter if you haven't filed in 1 year, 5 years, even a whole decade. Tax Network USA is equipped to secure the best settlement for you. The tax attorneys and professionals at Tax Network USA can help resolve all tax cases, no matter how they started. Don't let debt control your life any longer. Take the first step towards resolving your tax issues by visiting taxnetworkusa.com/Walsh. That's taxnetworkusa.com/Walsh today. My problem with what you just heard there, my problem with Trump's dictator comment is that he's only promising to do it on day one. Because if by dictator we mean, again, just ruthlessly and effectively wielding legal power to move forward your agenda and crush your enemies, well, he needs to be a dictator in that sense every day of his term. I don't want it's day one. What about day 2 and 3 and 4 and 5? This has always been my critique of Trump's presidency. A lot of people, even to this point, after these many years, like, they still don't understand what my criticism is. Okay, I know a lot of people have criticism of Trump, and the left, it's one thing, and you got the Never Trump, whatever crowd, and the Bill Kristols of the world who've become leftist, or always were, but have fully come out as leftist in response to Trump. Like, there's that. That's not my own critique is quite different. It's like the opposite of those people. They say that he was a dictator. What I say is that he didn't wield his power nearly enough. Like, he was far too eager and far too willing to kowtow to the left and to the media and too desirous of their approval. You know, they paint him as this ruthless, like, pragmatist who's just out there getting stuff done. I want more ruthlessness. To me, he was not nearly ruthless enough in the first term. And so I liked his response there, but what I would like to hear in the future is, this is what we're doing day one. Here's what we're doing day two, day three, day four, day five. It's not a day one thing. Because also, by the way, those are not things you can do in one day anyway, obviously. Yeah, I know he wasn't speaking in literal terms here, but building the wall, all these kinds of things, you can't do that in one day. But what I would love to hear from you, and you kind of hear it there, is that this is like the attitude that you want, which is that, like, I don't care if you call me a dictator or not. Sure, whatever, I'm a dictator. That's kind of what Trump is doing here. He's doing the same thing that I always say, you should do when someone calls you transphobic or whatever, because you're saying that men aren't women. Rather than responding, as most Republicans and conservatives do, by saying, I'm not transphobic, just say, fine, okay, I am, I don't care. Like, if that's how you define transphobia, is that I believe in biological reality, then sure, I am. I don't care. If this is how you define dictator, as someone who actually wields his legal power to move forward an agenda that you oppose, if that to you is what a dictator is, then yeah, I'm a dictator. Fine. Go ahead, call me that. It doesn't matter. Perfectly fine. Cool. Yep, that's what I'll be. And so I think that's kind of what Trump is doing there. And I'd love to see more of it. Thanks for checking out this video. If you'd like to listen to my full podcast on the go, you can check out The Matt Walsh Show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.